Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 2 2. Mic check 1 2. Stace, can I get a mic check over there?
Mic check 1 2.
Man,
mic check
man.
1 2.
All right, all right, all right. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening, everybody? Glad y'all tuning in to another One Love Entertainment podcast episode. You know, hey, we're gonna keep it going, we're gonna keep it flowing. And this evening, my special guest is a legend in the city of Trenton, and my homie of mine, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stacy D. Heading is in the building.
That's right. That's me.
Okay.
Glad to be here, brother.
Welcome, bro. Welcome. Hey, listen, bro, it's an honor to have you here, Stace. And you know, we gonna get this party started. I love saying that. Right. But before we get this party started, and I love saying this as well, let the people all over the world, because I say that in the beginning of my podcast because I want to be worldwide. Right, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta speak it.
Right. So let the people all over the world know who you are and what you're about, your little bio.
Right, little bio. So listen, my name is Stacy D. Heading. The D stands for Dante. I work for OWLS. Mm-hmm. I am a senior director there for community development, you know what I mean, community engagement. So I love what it is that what I do. I started off working with the youth. I was the manager for the after school evening program. So anything happened after school with the young people, and I call them young, they're anywhere from 16 to 24 years old, I was responsible for. So I did a lot of life skills with them, getting them prepared once they get their academics and their construction trade, how to get a job, how to land a job, how to keep a job, and exposure, taking them places. Because people don't know exposure is everything.
Absolutely.
Once you start, a lot of times they go places, they're just nervous. So they might act out of nervousness. It's all new to them. They don't know any better. You have to take them places and show them that you got their back.
Right.
And once you do it, they like going a lot of places.
Right.
And then you start to show them how to apply it to their lives.
Right.
Apply it to going to work. Right. Apply it to going to college or school or trade school.
Life, period.
Period. And it comes from just, getting out of these 7.5 square miles, man, the environment, and taking them somewhere else. And so then I also have the Seed Male Mentoring Program, which is doing great things, helping young people get into college, go to college, and mentor them through college. So it started off with, when we first started with the Seed Male Mentoring Program, they were young kids, some of them, like 7th grade, 8th grade, but they stayed with us so long that when they went to college, I started finding out going away to school, they still need a mentor. Right. It's all new to them. I mean, some will go away far as Atlanta and may have tears in their eyes, may miss their family, and they want to come back home. They start talking, well, I just want to go to school closer, but a lot of them, they miss their family. So we mentor them and guide them through that. Like, although you're down there, we're still here for you. Right. Then it turned into going to graduations. Right. And all I'm doing, I'm sitting in the audience, and I'm like, man, I remember I used to go talk to their teachers in the 8th grade about little silly stuff. And like they done did, following their friends, but making sure they didn't fall into the trap, but really guiding them through. And then you're sitting at their graduation, watching them walk across that stage. And then when they get across that stage, we take pictures. I say, all right, now the next step, we got to get you on and working. You got to start your career. And so that's kind of the life, man, that I've been blessed to do, man, guide them through from young all the way till adults.
And I watch some, like you said, young, and then you go to the graduations. Matter of fact, May, June alone, you've been in different states and cities.
Man. I'm all over, man. I know what it looks like. And it's funny. So then my third thing I do, I have Heal the City. And we just did an event, trained on the City Hall steps. The city allowed me to, they coined it, Heal the City, and we were bringing in different organizations and different speakers, just to let people know that there is help out here. Because a lot of times you hear, ain't nothing going on out here. There's some things going on. Right. You just got to take advantage of it, man, and be a part of it. And so that day we brought a lot of, great speakers out, and we were just giving the city a hug, man, showing love to the city, man, and not just talking, but having resources, man. And so when I talk about them going away to college, and even after this, y'all, I'm going to Trenton High, and they having a scholarship thing going on over there. So our scholarship, what we do with the Seed Heal the City, I blend it together, and some of the monies came from when we do our every year our MLK breakfast we do every year. So we take the proceeds, which now is not much because the Hyatt costs a lot, decorating. Now people are looking for a certain way we do it now, so I can't shortchange. I got to make sure it's done right. So I'm spending a lot just to make a little bit of something. But let me tell you something. It's called the Help Scholarship. And that scholarship is for those that are going to college. And a lot of them are first generation. And a young man might be able to go to Clark Atlanta. And the family get everything right, financial aid, they got things together, but they didn't count up the cost on how to get down there. And then maybe stay the night, and you know what I mean? Because sometimes the orientation is a couple of days, you get down there one day, you stay, or you got to move stuff, you need a U-Haul truck. I've been through this with my daughter, Sierra, and she was going to North Carolina Central, and I had just enough money to make it all happen. I couldn't let her down, but it was tight. And we had to get this, we had to stay the night down. So I said, if I get some money, we're going to start this thing. It's going to be called the Help Scholarship. I partnered with Trenton High and other schools in Mercer County with their guidance counselors and talk about some of the kids that they know that might need it, that's deserving of it, because this is the type of money when I get to them and their parents, I'm trusting that they do what they're supposed to do.
The right thing. Right.
That's it.
Right.
I'm just trusting
right.
that you do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to make sure that you get down there. I want to make sure that the family is good when they get down there. And I don't care if you mom and dad, so they can stay the night, they can feel good, it's a little bit of money to get something to eat, and just be there for your child. And then at the end, when you leave, your child is comfortable because they got everything they need. That's the help scholarship.
That's the key word, comfortable.
Yeah.
The parents come down, they feel uncomfortable, they know you're comfortable.
Yep.
It's easy for them to, okay, we're leaving now because we know where our baby's coming.
Man, listen, so you picked up on it, because here's another thing, y'all. And I'm telling parents this, I tell them this as I give them the check, or I may have a talk with them, because before I give them the money, we'll have like a little reception, breakfast or brunch, so we can talk about these things and, let them know. And I'll tell the parents, do not let your child know how hard you're struggling to get them down there, because especially young men, we care about our mamas. I mean, we care about our dads too, but let me tell you something. When they see their mom struggling and don't have it, but I'm doing this for you, but I really ain't got it, I don't know how we gonna pay the phone bill and all that. It makes them feel so they don't give their best. They don't give their all. Actually, 80% of them may end up coming back. Right. Because they're like, I don't need my mom spending all this money, or she's struggling, she's stressing. So let them know you got it. You was going to make sure, do your best, son. And daughter too, but just do your best, and things will work itself out. And you got to support them.
Absolutely. Keep them in that state of mind.
Yeah.
Like, everything is okay. Just you focus on what you need to do. Right. I focus on what I need to do to get you there.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And, you absolutely right, bro. Absolutely right. See, that's why God put you where you at in life, bro. Because even as a grown man, I look at you as a mentor. Right. And it's not just people. It's not just the youth. Yes. We grown people need some mentorship too, guidance. Conversation. Because I feel like if I ever, there's a selected few that I look at, follow, you one of them. If I need someone to talk to about anything in life, I'm gonna call Stacey. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at you, bro. And I need you to keep doing
and I feel the same way with you, Tip, because you just kept it real all this time. Me and Tip go back. I remember Tip playing for the strip pole, right? The back catcher. My cousin Round One was a back catcher. I said, like, man, who better? You or my cousin Round at back catching, because they took back catching seriously.
Yes, we did. Yeah, that's taking it back. Do it, baby. Shout out to my man Round One. But and it's funny because he was here, and I think in our conversation I was like, yeah, Stacey will be here. Stacey will be here too, definitely. But just recently, you had something to do with naming the pavilion at Calwater Park after Miss Grace Crossland, right?
Grace Crossland. That was, man. Listen, bro. It was work, because you're working with the family and you're making sure everything go all right. I'm working with the city, and the city comes together, and we in our partnership, we made sure that happened, because people don't have to let that happen. But when that happened, but she's well deserved.
Yes,
deserved.
She is.
And we're gonna have that pavilion, and on June 21st, it's like the unveiling. We put the sign up there, so that's June 21st is next Saturday, right?
This Saturday coming.
This Saturday coming.
This Saturday coming.
This Saturday coming, and and it brought me closer to the family and her daughters. And one thing I recognize in this, and I think this is so special, people got to understand. Growing up, their family, they gave up a lot for her. So people may have done some things with her too, but seriously, like, you have to think about the time she was away from her family and her daughter. So when this stuff happens for someone like her, it means a lot to them, because they just like, my mom, all this wasn't done in vain. Like, I know she was strong, and I know sometimes we put ourselves behind so other people, so they can share and have her too.
And that's June 21st at what time?
21st.
What time?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock.
People, the pavilion, y'all.
Okay.
So people skating there, people doing things. That's what we're gonna call it, the Grace Crossland Pavilion.
Okay.
And treat that thing with some respect.
Right.
Treat it right, and that's what we're gonna do, and educate the people that are coming. Like, do right by this lady. This lady means something to us.
Absolutely. I remember my days of coming out to the park and everything, and she always made sure, baby, park the motorcycles on their side, and Miss Gracie wants to eat.
Yeah.
She said, just clean up the trash.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And we hey, listen, beautiful, good-hearted woman, man. Definitely missed out there. When you go out there, well, I don't know who went out there, but she was always somebody I look forward to seeing.
Yeah.
Conversated with you well, treated you well with a lot of respect and everything. And the pavilion has been done up, and it's beautiful out here. The city done a good job with the pavilion, and oh man, that's great. That's great. Oh yeah. Excuse me for one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna go get Stacy.
What's up, man? You got the light. I ain't nervous, man. This thing is shining on me. You know what I mean?
But they can hear me all the way over here.
Okay,
so
that's great.
Give us an idea of what's coming up next.
So let me while you're over there, I want to just talk about y'all. Like when you talk about naming things, y'all. Like we have things that are happening. This is our time now. This is our generation, and we have great people. So you have City Hall, and it's the building is named after Doug Palmer, mayor. African-American mayor for 20 years, that when we grew up, that's who, we wanted to be like. I know coming up, like, oh man, that's Doug Palmer. And I used to go to Happy's on Spring Street. And when I used to go get my hair cut, sometimes you would see Doug out in the neighborhood. But we also, on Wednesday, June 18th, we have something special at the Lobby Club for Sharon Grady. We got the sports complex, and it's been named after her. Right. Shout out to those who was part of it, and Councilwoman Yaz Manelli, Council President, and it was part of it. So Wednesday we're going to go to the Lobby Club. Anybody want to come down? If you want to give a small donation, we're going to get the lettering inside the gym area. When you first walk in with her name, with Sharon Grady. Okay. Sharon Grady, y'all, and we know her commitment in the work that she has done. And so it feels good when you never think, man, growing up, you'll be a part of this stuff.
Miss Grady, we both was at the high together, and we doing our thing in school, and now here we are honoring her, and like you said, being a part of these situations. And when I heard you mention Doug, when I came back in, these are our legendary people in our city.
Yeah, legendary.
And to be able to, my little part with Doug was DJing some of his campaign events, to get him in there. So, but we all done our part. Done our
part, man, and they did a great job with Doug. I didn't have anything to do with that, but I'll just be happy to see that the people we know, these things being happened. Right. These things are happening because guess what? There's stuff named after people y'all didn't even know was named after them, and it just happened. It just go like that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name. Brunswick Avenue, if you recall, is a name on Brunswick Avenue.
Oh, it is?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. They named it after someone.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is.
Yep.
I got to do my homework.
And there was some people who felt like that person should have been named. And guess what? They didn't fight amongst each other. Right. They didn't do that stuff, so it doesn't get named. Right. So when we get these things, y'all, we can't fight amongst each other. We just gotta. The goal is, the job is just get it done. Especially if they're worthy of that. Right. We got the school named after Darlene McKnight.
Right.
And some people didn't think that would happen, but that elementary school was named after a lady who was like a mentor to me, who was a legend. And so one of the things that we had to do, we make sure, you want to get stuff named after people, you have to get their bio, all their body of work, the stuff they do. When people go to the committee, or whoever you got to talk to get it done, we're all speaking on one accord. We got the same thing. We're not going up like, oh, you got misinformation, stuff wrong. You might be talking about, when my daughter needed Pampers, she came through for me. That's not school worthy, naming after somebody. You know what I mean? Right. So you got to, really have your stuff together. And it's just food for thought for people. Have that stuff that is written down. Everybody on the committee who's going to help champion that, y'all go over that stuff, and you'll start to find out people have done a lot. And when we did that for I just went blank right quick. Okay, but you know what I mean? Darlene McKnight. When we did that for her, we just had a lot of information and things, and everybody knew she was worthy. She did the work. And guess what, man? there's a school. Sometimes I go to the school and I see that. I said, man, it's named after a legend. I'm talking to the kids. This lady's a legend.
Right. And you had something to do with that,
man. It was beautiful. Yeah. And y'all, like, this isn't for bragging or anything like that, but I'm just letting you know while we're here talking, I'm letting you know the intentions. See, whenever you do something you tell people what are your intentions.
Right.
Whatever they want to think after that, that's on them. I'm giving you, my intention. This is what I think. Right. This is why I did it. This was the love.
Right.
When you look at Grace Crossley, I mean, she died during COVID, although she didn't have COVID, but in the funeral home, you can only have like 10 people, 15 at a time. We talking about y'all when that thing first came out.
Right.
If you touch somebody and they say they had COVID, you shook. So they could only go in there a little bit. When I remember I was outside across the street, I think it was with Amini, Sababu, and Avery, and it could have been Kai also with us too. But I remember watching the family come out and I was like, man, Grace needs a better, I want to, man, we're going to send her away. Right. As my man Freedom would say, righteously. It's going to be more than that, not just this little private ceremony. And again, shout out to Hughes, because they didn't have to do it, but they did it at that time and allowed the funeral to happen. But I said, we want to do something special. And that's when we did the billboard. Right. And when we did the billboard, because we were outside, we made it like a memorial. Everybody got a chance to speak. We brought the family out. It was a beautiful memorial. Billboard right there on Stuyvesant Avenue in Prospect. Man, listen, it was beautiful. And then from there, it just started to move, into other things, So we wanted to show the family that we care about her, and we want to just give other people who want to say some things about Grace at that time an opportunity. Right. So that's the intention. That's what it was.
That's absolutely
right. You know what I mean? That was heal the city. That's part of healing the city. You got to do the work. You know what I mean? So it's just beautiful, man.
Oh man, and keep doing it.
Yeah,
keep doing it. Yeah, because it's very, 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 very beautiful. Indeed. Wow. Real quick, because I'm sitting here thinking about Miss Grace. Rest in peace to DJ Joe Collier. He just passed away. Another legendary DJ from the city of Trenton. So definitely sending mad love and condolences to his family and everything as well.
Joe was a good guy. Y'all know Joe's son was on our first billboard. His son Yusef. Yep. And our first one was on Stuyvesant, but it was across the street, and we had some young men. And my bonus mom, Ivy Avery, came up with the concept of we were just going to have some young men dressed real nice, and they're shaking hands and they're just talking. Like, we took all kind of pictures of them just doing random stuff. Right. But we caught the right one where they were engaged, looking at each other, but they looked good. Right. And then on it, we had each college or military where they were going to. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah. And Joe's son, Yusef, was one of them. Was part of it. And so then with our Heal the City, what we started doing was like unveilings. So when they went up, we had the young men, y'all got to speak. You got to tell the people, all these people are out here to see you, what you're going to do. And, what does this mean to you right now? Right. So some of them like, I'm kind of scared. I don't know what to say. No. Just speak from the heart. Right. Because you see all of this was happening. You see your mom out here, your father, your grandfather, your neighbors. So just speak. And they did an excellent job. And so from there on, we just started having unveilings, but we would have the people there and we would make it a celebration. And I know you know about that because you did our second one. You remember that? Or you kind of forgot?
No, from PJ Hill.
PJ Hill.
Across from PJ Hill, yes.
PJ Hill, man. And I called Took, y'all, and I said, Took, we want to make sure that, because we did it all the boys one time, the young men. Mm-hmm. So now we did it with the young ladies. So with the young ladies, it was a billboard. That was our second billboard with the young ladies. And with this big park, like big open area across the street. Right. And I said, I need a DJ. But we just grinding. I don't have the money, It took a lot of money to make the billboard and do the photo shoot. Right. And so I said, listen, shout out to Corey McCoy, who was our photographer, at that time and made all that stuff happen. And said, I got you. And he came out there and he just did it for me, no charge. And it was beautiful because it makes it a celebration. You start playing music and, you know, things they grew up on when they were little, but their parents liked the music. You just make it all a celebration. We did that thing that day, bro.
Yes, I remember.
Yep.
Yeah, because the lady next door, I think we had that grass cut over there.
Yeah, we had the
grass cut.
We had to use the electricity.
That's what I'm trying. The lady next door, we had to use electricity. Yeah. That's what it was.
And that's why you got to really treat people right. Man. We about to do all this. We didn't even talk to them yet. We just knocked on the door and say, listen, we about to do this. All she knows, I'm about to have like 60, 70 people in front of my crib. And she just loud as you.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
And those young ladies had to speak. But so you're the one that we kept a relationship even with the guys. And like at least half of them went away to college and graduated. You ran into a young man. Oh my gosh, I can't remember it all, but I know you ran into one of your mentors. We ran into him, and you put it on the book. But you run into a lot. I run into a lot, man, and I see it, man, and they're very thankful, and it's gratifying for me. That's my pay, bro. Watching them, like, man, I remember when you told me this, or you took me here, and it started me thinking about college. So Rachel Barlow, her daughter, and Rachel, you know, we talked about this because we celebrated her graduation
just recently.
We just celebrated her graduation, and we said, listen, I took her to, this was through Owls, our evening program. We went to go see Drumline the musical. Right. And so it was like her senior year in high school, and her and Rachel was, you know, it was a tough time for them.
Right.
And but I had a relationship. I used to just go by, talk to her and stuff. I said, guess what? I want you to come with me to this play. So she says, okay. So I had a couple young men from Owls. It was about like 4 or 5 of them. I had about a couple young ladies. We went and picked her up. We went to Olive Garden. We went dinner. Listen, y'all, everything's about food with me. If you want to loosen them up, get them endorphins going and all of that stuff, you got to have some food. So we ate. We had a good time. And she started blending and talking to them, having a good time. Then we went to go see Drumline the musical. And in there, that's when they had all of these marching bands from Delaware State, you know, Morgan.
Right.
Man, listen, man, Clark Atlanta. So they had all of these bands, Howard, and the bands was throwing down. And when it was over, they'll meet you in the lobby and do a jam session with the band. Listen to me, bro. Afterwards, she was there. She was taking pictures with them. She was like just talking to them and like what school they go to and all of that. And do you know, like a year later, she ended up going to HBCU in Virginia and then ended up graduating. So you just never know, y'all. It's the little things. Like now, she had to get on her game and make sure she do the work and study. You know, I don't take no credit for that, but I know one thing. She'll tell you herself. This sparked everything. Her mother would tell her, like, just going there and seeing it and believing. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Everything with young people, even some of us as adults, it's about hope. If you can come around them and talk about some things you can do and know how to execute it, and it brings them hope, man, listen, man, it opens up the doors for everything. And that thing, she was operating off of going to going to dinner at Olive Garden, afterwards going to the Merriam Theater, to the movie, real theater, right? And going to see them play. It brings hope. Like, I can do this.
Right. I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, I want to be a part of it.
I want to be around that.
And that's mental. This is what we do. You can do this. We tell them. You have to speak life into them because they get a lot of negativity spoken in their lives their whole life around the house. You ain't gonna be nothing. You just like your daddy. You just like it. And that stuff, I'm telling you, it penetrates. So when you speak life to, I'm telling you, it'll do a lot.
Cheryl Lindsay was here last Monday, and she mentioned that.
She did. Yeah.
Cheryl, don't charge it to my head, charge it to my heart.
Right.
She have a program that she just started, and it deals with that. You know, we have kids, you growing up, and parents saying your daddy wasn't, and so they feel like, well, guess what? He wasn't. I ain't gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Go.
And you know, those are some things we shouldn't say. That you know, we want to encourage them. Like you spoke up earlier, I may not have this money to really get you there, but guess what? I'm not gonna really tell you to break your heart, upset you. I'm gonna make it happen. Some things as parents,
Yeah.
You know, like, so, you know, chill, just chill. I mean, chill. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. But we want to talk to our kids as adults. They are young adults, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But we want to see them do better than us.
And I was at Ninth Grade Academy speaking to some young people, y'all, and I had this, I got a different style of, been doing this, man, for like 18, 19 years.
Yes, you have.
So when you do it, you start to learn some things. And they, listen, I know they've been talked down to all their lives. Now, sometimes I tell some of them niggas, some of them bad, I say, now, you make your parents talk like that because you cutting up. You stealing from them. You like, they come in the house, you smoking weed in the house. They don't want, like, you doing too much.
Right.
So they're saying this stuff. They don't mean it, but man, they're trying to get your attention. Right. Like, you know, and I think us as mentors that come from these urban communities and these homes, we got a right to just talk to them real because we've been through it. Right? So I was like, man, you gotta stop cutting up, bro.
And guess what? When they hear the realness, they kind of, whoa. Did Mr. Hedden just talk to me like I was Mr. Hedden and Mr. Williams was out there.
Yeah,
we know. Come on, bro. We trying to tell you something. Pay attention.
That's it, man. So I tell them, man, like and then I, with the parents, because I understand I don't put everything on them. People try to do that. Right. Some of them try hard, man. They don't really know like how to sometimes go about things. But when you start to speak life, so I got them boys up at Ninth Grade Academy, and I said, how many of y'all like encouraging words? And he's like, yeah, man. How many of y'all been told like you ain't gonna be nothing? They just raise their hand. Right. And so now they act all of that stuff out. And that stuff hurts deep down inside. They won't play job, but it hurts. But start speaking life. And what I told them, even if you see them open the door for somebody, they let somebody in, right? This is what I'll do. And then so when they shut the door, when a young man or young lady walk by, I said, that was nice the way you opened that door for me. Right. Now they like, man, somebody paid attention. Because the only time somebody approached me is on something negative. But now I just held the door and I'm starting holding the door for people. Right. So you got to do these things. When you see them doing something positive, speak on that and encourage them.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. My man. Yeah. Real quick, just like a little commercial break. Check this out, y'all. Househeads United Entertainment is doing it in the park Sunday, June 29th, 11 a.m., 7 p.m., 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s music. This is at the Burleson County Fairgrounds, 1794 Jacksonville, Jobstown Road in Columbus, New Jersey. It's free to get in. Parking is $10, okay? And guess who it's hosted by? Yours truly.
Oh man.
Yes, I'm the host. So we going to chop it up. We going to have a good time. So please come on out. It's an adult atmosphere, but the youngest, y'all more than welcome to. Come on out here. That's 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s music. Some of that music made y'all. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So, I had to put that in the air. So, but Brother Stace, man. So what is I know we spoke on the you on your way to Trent High this evening, scholarship. Okay. Now, let me ask you, the scholarship situations, how do that work? How do they get picked and things of that nature?
Well, it's great. It's very interesting. And when you care about the community and the students, sometimes you do things differently based on like, this is just stuff I know. The average person wouldn't know to do this. And I told, like I was saying, I know my daughter, she's on here. I don't know how she feels sometimes I share the story, but it's really on me. She was going to North Carolina Central. She was living down in North Carolina, and she would spend the summer with me. So now when it's time to take her down, and she's in college, her mom did everything right to make sure she go to school, everything's set, financially, everything's set. Right. But it hit me like, this in a week, we got to get down there. I think I paid the money for the dorm like a little late. I needed about like $700-800 just for her dorm. So I'm already running behind with that. Then get nobody drive away to North Carolina and coming right back. The orientation be like 2 weeks. I'm staying the night. Right. Stay the night, get a room. Right. You know what? We want to take our daughter out to dinner and have these conversations with her and tell her how proud we are of her. So that costs money. Oh, guess what? She got all of this stuff. So I had to rent like a big type of truck, an SUV. So I had to rent that, gas. So it just cost a lot of money. And I had just enough to do it. And I remember, my daughter, anything she wanted, my daughter, they got from me. Mm-hmm. So, she's thinking he's straight, but she don't know I was on a solid prayer going down there. I really didn't have it, but I had just enough. And I'm a working man. Right. So everybody don't have it. So I said, man, the next time, if I ever do a scholarship, I'm going to do something that I coined it. It's called the Help Scholarship. And so it's just to help people get their kids in transportation back and forth. Right. From there, now, one of the things I do to make sure that you're giving it to people that's really deserving of it. I didn't make them write anything and do all that. Some people lose money because, they didn't write the essay, they didn't do the thing they should do. And I'm not just rewarding them for that because you should be able to do that too. But you know what? They don't. I know I get with some guidance counselors like Keith Wallace of Trenton High, and it's Ms. Rockman. It's a few others, but definitely Keith. We partner together. He lets me know like this want to be a good one. This is a good. Good. So that helps. So now we all get together. I talk to the parents because I'm like, hey, this $1,000, this $750, whatever I'm going to give you. Right. This on y'all. You know what I mean? But I make sure I give it in a timely fashion that it's about at least a week or two before they go to school. Okay. Like, I ain't giving nothing like this early. You know what I mean? So we're going to make sure that you get to school. And we're going to make sure it's a parent, and parents, they love it, man. Because I tell the parents, like, take a little bit of burden up off. Right. Because I know it's rough. You know what I mean?
Listen, I know they love that.
They love it, man.
I know they love that.
This is for y'all. Take it, go down there, and do what you got to do. Right. Set her up in a room, give her everything that she needs or he needs in their room. Because again, you want to sit them, you want to send them straight and not like talking about the burden and the money because that affects them.
Yes.
You're
sending them off right. But I definitely love, like I said, I hear about, I see a lot about the scholarships. Mm-hmm. And yes, I heard you write an essay, you get a scholarship, but I just wondering how do these kids get selected, and you stay in touch with.
Yeah, I stay with the guidance counselors and administrators. It is fun because it keeps me in tune with my school. Like when I went to always up Trenton High, doing something like being a blessing or talking to the students. But when they do that, man, it's just so rewarding to make sure. Like, and I know. Well, so another thing that we do, we make sure if you got a strong parent that did community work, that's always like Grace Crossland, that always did work for other people. And guess what? They may need help too. We're thinking because they do this work, they straight. Bro, they putting all that time in with everybody else. So I kind of seek them out. And I say, you know what? We're going to do something for her. And I tell the kids, that's for the strength of your mom or your dad, for the work that they do. Because I'm showing the kids too how we respect your parents also, man. And all of this is like healthy relationships, man. They need to see that. So I'm like, this you want to get from your mom. So we're helping a student who's going to school in St. Louis, but they got to go there early. They got to fly out there. It starts before she graduates. So we flying her there, and then we flying her back for her graduation. Oh, wow. And then got to fly her back to the school. See, that was hard. Those are things people don't think about. Like, nobody got that much money for airfare and all of that, but this young person wanted to go to school there. Right. So when that person wanted to go to school, that's what they selected. The mom was like, and we are the community, y'all. My man Moncho told me one time, he says, man, like us, we are the community chess. It's like Monopoly. And we supposed to have people that in the community we can go to that can help. We talking about if everybody dropped $100, $200, somebody's in need, their child need to go to school, and you know the work that their parents put in the community. Let's all like put something in the pot and just make sure the child comes. We don't go out that night. But we don't save $100. That's all that is.
We blow $100 like it
ain't. And so that's how to be able to go to school. And again, when you're giving them that, you're just having conversations with them and you're letting them know that you're special. This is why we're giving you that, because you know we're going to do right. And that makes them, if they want to give up in school, it makes them go harder because they like, man, I got people that believe in me. Right, so I know this kid, I know it's a little hard. I got to buckle down a little more because back home, they put something together for me to make sure that this happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to go a little harder. They depend on me to make it happen. Absolutely. I'm loving that, bro. I'm definitely loving that, bro. Before, I know time is the essence. You got things to do. But before you go, any word of advice? I don't have too many youth watching, but to parents out there that's watching, and like Stacy, man, are you the president of Owls yet? You're on your way.
Right.
But Owls been around for a hot minute, peoples. And again, you got kids that's coming up, babies that's coming up. Yo, please reach out to Brother Stacy here. I mean, definitely.
Because listen, man, and, and I've been talking about, some of these events for kids in college, but even what was so humbling and great for me at Owls is being able to help some youth that are, underserved, that been with something they didn't make it at a traditional high school, for whatever the case may be, because sometimes it be the classrooms are too full.
Right.
And then we give them a trade. Right. But we're taking people from the community that's had a hard time, or they've been sent to us some by the courts, and so it just depends. And what I put in place with Owls is volunteer work to help get their probation hours done. So this ain't like, so when you look at me, like, yo, this ain't just like just helping kids that's already doing well and going to school. I do that too. If you open up my laptop, right, I got reference letters for judges, for colleges, for school, for the admissions office. I have it for a little bit of everybody because I'm writing letters to them about everybody, because everybody just go through some things. Some things happen. So even the ones that's going to college, y'all, they just one bad decision of jumping in the car on the way to school with somebody. Right. And the car could be stolen and have drugs. And it was innocently enough. I done had that with young people in my group. They just make bad decisions. That's why we do workshops on decision making. Like, you got to think about that stuff early. Right. You get what I'm saying? And say, this can kind of jam me up. Let me stay away from it. But like I said, so now I'm working with the courts. So any kid that need get their probation hours done and over with, I help. And let me tell y'all something. That's gratifying to me. So when they come back in and I done sent their last few hours in to the courts, because I have a relationship with the courts, they say, Stacy, they good? And I'll say, yeah, they good. I never thought I'll be talking to law enforcement saying, my word is what's going to help get them out. Now they good. They did the hours, they straight. Right. They'll come in my office, I'll say, so you straight, man. And some of them have tears like, damn, glad, man, to get this monkey up off my back, man. Yeah. And they don't have no more hours that they have to perform for community service. Right. And next, through Owls, if you want a job, we can help you. So now you finish this, go downstairs. We got our job developer down there. Right. He's going to help you with your resume and get you going. And watch this. Use some of the stuff we're talking about as, what you can do for employment. Right. So, some people don't have work history. Right. So if I have you at the Trenton Area Soup Kitchen and you've been doing it for 5 months, put that down. I was at the Trenton, and then guess what? I've already talked to the people there that, they're going to give you a good recommendation. Absolutely. As if you worked there and you did your thing. So, these are some of the things, y'all, we have to get crafty about. When you're in that position, I'm in that position, and I know enough people, let's get this stuff done. You can get it done. Right.
Yo, that's some good stuff, bro. It's some good stuff, man. Listen,
this was good talking about. Y'all, I don't get a chance to talk about a lot of this stuff. And sometimes people, they see you with photos and they see you with things, and people make up their own stuff. Some stuff be projection, it's whatever. But I just need you to hear my heart, the intentions of what it is that we do. And if you care enough, you can change so much because you care. So when you care, man, you just come with ideas. Owls didn't ask me to do this for volunteer to get them on probation. That was another thing added on to my job. Right. But it's easy because I know them, I talk, I know how to communicate with people.
You love what you do.
And
it's clearly that you can see that you do. You know what I'm saying? And you definitely making a difference. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I know you for years, and just we don't see each other every day all the time, but on social media, I see, bro, you are making a difference. These kids are happy to see you, and you are making these trips to make sure you had their graduations, you had you had something going on in your life, and that feels good, bro.
That feels good. Listen to it. I called you on my second billboard. I said, I need you to come out there. I ain't got the money. You know, you just have to be when you good people, and then you got to know who you're calling. Somebody else who has a good heart also. And I just remember saying that, man. But we had hot dogs.
Listen, it was a beautiful, and I thank you. It was a beautiful situation, and you know, I've been in the little DJ game for a minute, but ain't about me. Right. But anyway, but real quick before we go, just to let y'all know, all these beautiful billboards that's in our city. I want to say all. The Stuyvesant.
Yeah, we got them all over.
You got them all over. Okay,
we got a lot of them. We try to
right here, you know.
I told Tug I'm gonna do one for him. He gonna fall back, but I'm gonna do something nice because this is something good. And so when you got connections, you can make calls to people. I work with Interstate. Now I don't like saying this because then people think like he can just get them, but no. If it's something that's on my heart, right? And I done did over 100 billboards. Hey man, listen, I need some. There's something that's going on, and we'll pay for the graphics and all of that stuff. Right. Put this on. This is our city of Trenton. We're trying to make it better. Because that's what the billboards was about. Putting up positive things that's happening in Trenton. And what I love about my city, now people are putting up their own too. Yeah. And you see that, but they're doing positive stuff. It's so, positive. You know, we got to get some positive things going on in the community. So I'm glad that people are doing it. But I'm gonna work something out for you, bro. Well, we're gonna put something slick together.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm gonna mention this because if we can't get it this year, we definitely all God is good and hopefully I get to see next year. As you all know, July 26th, House at the Battle Monument, our city, our local DJs here. Got Ted Brown, Wiz, Easy P, Ramsey, House, Swell, Quest, hosted by Steve Williams, and we're going to recognize Kim Beecham. So these are all Trenton legendary individuals I just mentioned. The Battle Monument is a legendary spot. Mm-hmm. No one ever done anything there like that, but I must send a big shout out to Donna Wellens because Donna had an event there years ago. I think more than one event. And I got the idea from Donna. So Donna, I want to send some love to you, Donna. Yeah. I got the idea from Donna and I thank you. And so we want to make that an iconic day, July 26th. And yes, there is a rain date. The next day, the 27th, we get all this rain. So please come on out and show our city some love. Yeah. Yes. Good. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
My man.
Hey, once again, thank you for coming on another hot episode, One Love Entertainment podcast. Thank y'all. Keep viewing it each and every Monday. I love y'all. Happy belated Father's Day to all the Father's Day out there. And
I had the best Father's Day, man. I was with my daughter, and my other daughter sent me some nice sneakers. That's like. They just make me, man, like, oh, man, I felt good. That was a great time that I had. So, shout out. Father's Day.
Wonderful. So, until the next time, good night, peace. We love y'all. You dig?
All right.